Speaking of songs that turned out incredible, the band's next album, Push Comes to Shove, featuring a single track of the same name that went on to become the highest charting single. I mean, wow, what a song. When you guys were laying down that track, how soon did you realize you had something? Did your producer, Bruce, feel it as well?
Yeah, Bruce Fairbairn, he was a big part of the record, but the bigger part of the record was Mike Fraser. Mike Fraser and Bruce Fairbairn. Mike engineered all the stuff like Permanent Vacation and all the stuff that Fairbairn was famous for producing. Mike Fraser engineered, and they had so much success that Fraser, deservingly so, asked for some participation in the credits and stuff, and Fairbairn said no. So Fraser stopped working with Fairbairn, and then Fairbairn made the Nine Lives record with Aerosmith without Mike Fraser. And it was a bit of a catastrophe because Tyler, when left to his own, Tyler will put a gazillion tracks down, I guess. I wasn't there, but this is what I kind of put two and two together. And they were going to can that record. It wasn't going to come out because nobody could do anything with it. And I suggested to John Kalodner that he let Brendan O'Brien try to mix it because Bob Claremountain and all these people had tried to mix the record, but nobody had been able to get it together. Mike Clean, just all these people. Fairbairn had turned the record over, and Brendan O'Brien went in and just pushed up two guitar, bass, and drums and saved the record. And so from that point, I took it on a mission to have Mike Fraser and Bruce Fairbairn work together again. So I don't know if they ever worked together after us, but I put them together, I think, for what was maybe their last collaboration. But Fairbairn was at that point of his career where he would just show up. For a few hours a day, and then Fraser would do the rest of the work. And so I got all the respect in the world for Bruce Fairbairn, but Mike Fraser was great.
Moving forward slightly, with 2 platinum records under your belt, you guys famously landed a spot at the Woodstock 94 concert, which I was at, as a result of your growing popularity. Do you remember the moment you got word it was officially happening? And did you get word from Michael Lang himself or from somebody else?
No, it was a dinner. Am I okay right here for a few minutes doing this interview? Okay. So, I'm in the Harley Davidson headquarters here, and they're coming and getting ready for an event. So that you funny. See that behind me? That's a piece of art. Willie G. Davidson, who I call the godfather of the rebirth of Harley. He's everything for Harley, and he drew that on the wall. It's pretty cool. But that's what's behind. But yeah, I'm here. We're getting ready for Harley Davidson's anniversary week. No, the reason we were at Woodstock 94, I attribute to a dinner. There was a dinner that we had with the head guy from BMI, Larry Hamby from A&M Records, the bunch of the other guys that were the producers, and we had a big dinner in New York, and we were at the Four Seasons Hotel, and everybody had a few drinks and was acting crazy and whatever. And my attorney was there, and he was kind of egging me on. I was just doing my rock thing, and somehow or another, I ended up standing up at the table and pulling my pants down or something, and just acting a fool. And it was all we were all being goofy and funny. But in the middle of the Four Seasons, I'm standing there basically shooting the moon to everybody. But it was a funny little thing. But yeah, right after that, they offered us, we went on at dusk on a Friday night of Woodstock 94, just a prime slot. It was a great slot, great show. It was a moment in history. I mean, I was glad we were there and just see all the legends that were there, everybody from Joe Cocker to Metallica to you name it. It was pretty cool.
Did you get to stay and catch the whole thing? I mean, it became a muddy mess. I didn't, fortunately, because I grew up in Woodstock, I was able to retreat and go sleep on my mom's sofa instead of in a muddy tent. But I mean, there were some I remember I think to me, one of the most incredible things was when Henry Rollins was playing. I don't know if you got to see that, but
I remember he played, but I didn't get a chance to see Henry. They had the multiple stage. I don't know if he was on the other stage. I think.
Yeah,
I believe. The second stage.
Thunderstorm came in, and instead of him retreating with all the electrical, as the storm got stronger, they played harder, and it just was just insane. But it was like one of the most. It's one of the, like you said, moments that you'll just remember forever. It was just insane.
Yeah, we were there for a couple of days because we were out with Aerosmith at the time. We were on tour with Aerosmith, and they were playing the next night, them and Metallica, and so so we got to be there, and it was God. There's just so many long stories I could tell you about that, but that was a hell of an experience. And what is it now? I mean, I guess we're 30 years away from that. It's the 30-year anniversary this year of that festival.
Yep.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Michael passed, so who knows if there'll ever be another. And if there is, it's not going to be something under Michael's helm.
Was it John Shore? He had an army behind him on that Woodstock '94 and the one right after that.
Yeah, the one in Rome that went nuts.
Yeah, A&M owns all that content.
I'm curious as we move forward to your brand new record, Breathing Fire, which features an incredible song co-written by you and ACDC's Brian Johnson, Never Gets Old. At what point, I guess the better way to put it is, how soon after Jackyl came onto the scene did you actually get to meet Brian?
Well, we came out, obviously, a lot of people compared he and I, our singing styles, and right out of the gate. So the record first album came out in 92. Then, so by 95, I'd gotten an invitation through an agent that his wife was requesting me to be at a private event she was hosting to benefit an old Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey circus down in Sarasota, Florida, that they were trying to renovate. And so I got down to that event, and Duck Dunn was there from the Blues Brothers, and Tina Turner's band leader was there, and Cliff from ACDC was there, and Brian, and I mean just a lot of people that were there, and it was really cool, and we all just had a great hang, and Brian invited me to come stay with him and write songs, and I thought, again, kind of like Steve Walsh, I thought he was just maybe full of it, and just being nice. And he'd given me his number, but what was I going to do? Call him, hey, Brian, this is Jesse. Can I come stay at your house? I wasn't going to be that guy. And I ended up getting a card from him a couple of months, about 2 months later, he had written his phone number on again, saying, hey, I never heard from you. Give me a call. Let's get together. And I went, okay. So I called him, and he said, get down here, me son. Let's write some songs, and that's when we wrote Locked and Loaded. And he's just a great guy.
What do you think makes him such a fantastic artist and for you, writing partner?
He comes from blue collar. I mean, the guy, he's just a working class guy. And there's just something about his sense of just power and the way he phrases things up. And I mean, it's just, and of course, I'm such a huge fan of the band. It's not hard for me to, when I pick a guitar up, it's not hard for me to be able to kind of channel things that I think would excite Brian, or just in general, if I've got something that I think, well, Brian would be perfect to work on this. I call him up and say, hey, I got something, you got to help me out with. He'll say, send it down here, and he's just a great guy. He comes and stays at the house. There's no bodyguards, or he's just he's everything you'd want the lead singer of ACDC to be.